When people talk about hidden treasure in everyday change, the United States 5-cent coin from 1984 sometimes gets pulled into dramatic stories about overnight riches. Let's be clear and honest from the start. A regular 1984 5-cent coin is not a silver coin, and it is not worth millions of dollars in today's market. It was struck in a copper-nickel composition, 75% copper, 25% nickel, the same standard alloy used for modern nickels. So if someone tells you that an ordinary 1984 nickel can make you a billionaire overnight, that claim is simply not realistic. However, that doesn't mean every 1984 nickel is worthless. Condition, rarity, and mint errors can change the value significantly. The 1984 5-cent coin features Thomas Jefferson on the obverse front and his historic home, Monticello, on the reverse. These coins were minted in large numbers at the Philadelphia, No Mint Mark, Denver D, and San Francisco S mints. Because millions upon millions were produced, most circulated examples you find in pocket change are only worth face value, 5 cents. Even uncirculated examples are generally valued modestly, unless they are in exceptionally high mint state grades. The truth is that rarity drives value in the coin market, not just age. Now here's where things get interesting. The real potential in a 1984 nickel lies in rare mint errors or in exceptionally preserved specimens. A dramatic off-center strike, a double die error, or a coin struck on the wrong metal planchet can multiply its value far beyond face value. Some error coins from different years have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the severity and uniqueness of the mistake. But these are rare production accidents, not standard coins. If you ever believe you found something unusual, professional grading and authentication from a respected coin grading service is essential before assuming it holds extraordinary value. Another factor that influences price is condition. In coin collecting, grades such as MS65, MS66, or higher can significantly increase desirability. A flawless, sharply struck 1984 nickel with full details and strong luster may attract collectors who are building high-grade registry sets. Still, even in top condition, it would not reach millions. Coins that truly achieve million-dollar status are typically historic rarities with extremely low survival numbers, such as certain early American issues or famous era coins, not modern circulation nickels produced in massive quantities. It's also important to address the silver coin myth directly. The only U.S. nickels that contain silver were special wartime issues from 1942 to 1945, created due to metal shortages during World War II. A 1984 nickel contains no silver at all. So if someone markets a 1984 5-cent coin as a rare silver treasure capable of changing your life overnight, that is misinformation. Knowledge protects collectors from overpaying or falling into hype-driven buying decisions. That said, coin collecting can absolutely change your financial future, but through patience, education, and smart investing, not overnight miracles. A rare coin can be valuable, but it must be authenticated, graded, and supported by real collector demand. If you have a 1984 5-cent coin, examine it carefully for unusual features, keep it in good condition, and consider professional evaluation if something seems different. Treasure isn't found in exaggeration. It's found in understanding what makes a coin truly rare. All right, let's set the stage and tell this story with energy, drama, and crystal clear truth. The idea of a 1982 United States 5-cent coin turning someone into an overnight billionaire is the kind of tale you'd hear whispered in treasure hunts, hidden vaults, and fevered dreams. But here's the real treasure in this story. The truth about rarity, value, and what makes a coin truly worth something extraordinary. A 1982 nickel isn't a silver coin, and it wasn't struck in gold or platinum. It was made from the same copper-nickel alloy used for decades. So if you were told it's a secret silver bombshell worth millions, that's folklore, an electrifying myth that hooks the imagination more than it hooks real money. Still, myth or not, the world of coin collecting thrives on legends like this, because somewhere hidden in piles of everyday pocket change, there are real rarities waiting to be discovered. The standard 1982 5-cent piece features the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front and his beloved home, Monticello, on the back. symbols of American history stamped into metal. Most of these coins were made by the millions, so the vast majority are worth just what they say, 5 cents. But physical coins carry something intangible too, the hope that 1 in a million might be the one that changes everything. Here's where the excitement begins. In the thrilling world of numismatics, that's the fancy word for coin collecting, value doesn't come from age alone. It comes from rarity and condition. A perfectly preserved coin, one never touched by pocket wear, scratches, or dings, is a jewel compared to the everyday examples. When collectors speak of coins that command high prices, they're talking about pieces graded at the absolute top of preservation scales, coins that look like they just left the mint that day. If a 1982 nickel survived in such pristine state, it could certainly fetch more than face value, especially if collectors compete for that flawless strike. But the real game changer, the true jackpot, lies in errors. Imagine a coin struck off center so badly the design spills over the edge like a spill frozen in time. Or picture a nickel that was somehow struck on the wrong metal planchet entirely, perhaps one meant for another denomination or era. Those kinds of mistakes are not just unusual, they are shockingly rare, and some era coins have sold for prices that make eyes widen. In the coin world, a dramatic minting error can lift a humble nickel well beyond the ordinary market. But even then, we're talking thousands, not millions. Still, for a collector who knows what they're doing, thousands can feel like treasure. Now let's confront that electrifying fantasy directly. No validated 1982 nickel, not even with dramatic errors, has ever been confirmed to sell for millions or billions. Coins that actually achieve that level of value are typically ancient rarities or legendary historical pieces with tiny survival numbers, like certain early U.S. gold coins or iconic colonial issues, things so rare and storied that they carry mythology and market power. A 1982 nickel simply wasn't produced in tiny numbers, nor did it contain precious metals like silver or gold that might give it inherent melt value. So if someone tells you your nickel is a secret silver bomb that will make you rich overnight, that's a story designed to capture your imagination more than your investment portfolio. But here's the heart of the matter. Coin collecting is thrilling because of possibility. Because every stack of change could hide something special. Because a moment of discovery, the realization that you're holding a piece with an unusual feature or an unexpected grade, can electrify the senses. If you have a 1982 5-cent coin that looks extraordinary, free of wear, with crisp details, a gleaming surface, or a strange minting quirk, treasure it. Have it looked at by a respected coin grader. Preserve it, because while most will remain everyday nickel, the ones that stand out are the ones that people will pay real money to own. So hold onto the story, but ground it in reality. The power of a coin to change a fortune doesn't come from wild legends. It comes from knowledge, care, and understanding what coins with true rarity bring to the market. In the world of numismatics, real value is built on facts, not fantasies, and that's where your journey into hidden treasure truly begins. Let's dive into a story that's equal parts mystery, treasure hunt, and real-world truth, all centered on a humble little piece of metal that most people carry without a second thought, the 1985 United States 5-cent coin. First, let's rip away the wild internet exaggerations. A normal 1985 nickel isn't a silver coin, and it does not contain silver, gold, or any precious metal that would make it literally worth millions or capable of turning someone into a billionaire overnight. But that doesn't mean the idea of value, surprise, and hidden fortune around this coin isn't thrilling. Because in the world of coin collecting, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary can be right under your nose. When you hold a 1985 nickel, you're holding a piece of American history stamped with the familiar profile of Thomas Jefferson, one of the most recognizable faces in U.S. coinage, and on the reverse, his beloved home, Monticello. These coins rolled off the presses by the millions at U.S. mints in that year, and most circulated examples you might find in your pocket change are worth what they say, 5 cents. But numismatics, the study and collection of coins, has taught generations of collectors that mass production does not automatically mean mass insignificance. Sometimes, the rarest gems are hiding in plain sight. Here's where the story begins to get electric. Condition matters like nothing else in coin value. A coin that has never been touched by circulation, one that still looks like it just came out of a mint bag, with sharp, crisp details and brilliant sheen, is known as uncirculated or mint state. Collectors chase these coins because fewer and fewer survive the wear of everyday life. An uncirculated 1985 nickel, graded by experts on a precise scale, can bring far more money than your everyday spare change. In the coin world, higher grades can transform a common date into something collectible, sometimes worth hundreds of dollars. That's real value, not wild fantasy. But it's already a huge step up from face value. Now let's talk about errors, the real treasure when it comes to coins like the 1985 5-cent piece. During the minting process, rare accidental mistakes sometimes occur. A coin might be struck off-center, struck on the wrong metal planchet, have doubled lettering, or show other anomalies. These kinds of coins aren't just unusual, they are one-of-a-kind historical oddities. For a collector, an eye-catching error can be worth big money because people love rare imperfections, especially ones that make you say, "Wow, I've never seen anything like this before." Some error coins in history have sold for thousands or tens of thousands of dollars, not millions, but those are the exciting exceptions that keep collectors glued to their coin rolls. Now, about the sizzling dream that a 1985 nickel could make you a billionaire overnight. That part belongs more to bedtime legends than to reality. Coins that actually reach multi-million or billion-dollar values are usually centuries old, struck in limited quantities, often in precious metals, and backed by documented history and extraordinary rarity. Legendary coins like some colonial issues or famed gold pieces fall into that category. A 1985 nickel simply wasn't produced in limited numbers. It was one of the everyday coins meant to be spent, saved, and circulated. So if a voice on the internet tells you your 1985 nickel is a hidden silver treasure that guarantees unimaginable wealth in a single moment, treat that claim as a dramatic story rather than financial fact. Yet, don't let the truth dampen excitement, because the real journey here is discovery. If you have a 1985 nickel that looks different, especially one that shines like new, or shows striking oddities, that's a reason to pause, examine, and maybe even seek professional grading from a trusted coin authenticator. That process can reveal whether you're holding something rare, something collectible, or simply a beautiful example of everyday American coinage. And in the numismatic world, real value is earned through authenticity and documented scarcity, not through wild legends or exaggerated promises. So here's the real treasure buried in this tale. A 1985 5-cent coin may not instantly make you a billionaire, but it could lead you into one of the most fascinating and rewarding hobbies in the world, one where history, art, patience, and the possibility of discovery all blend into something deeply valuable. In the end, the power of a coin isn't in the myth you hear about it. It's in the story it carries, the rarity it may hide, and the joy of uncovering something truly special.